Red Bull's implosion, the beginning of the end for F1's super team. It's 2025, and Red Bull Racing, once untouchable, unstoppable, and seemingly invincible, is looking surprisingly human. The dynasty that once crushed competition with surgical efficiency is wobbling. Behind the polished PR smiles and usual calm tones in post-race interviews, there's something unraveling. A slow burn of confusion, desperation, and chaos now surrounds the garage in Milton Keynes. The numbers are still respectable. Max Verstappen is still fast. The team is still elite. But Formula One isn't just about being good. It's about staying great. And for Red Bull, the cracks are no longer microscopic. They're gaping. This isn't just a rough patch. It might be the start of their downfall. The Liam Lawson debacle. The driver gamble that exploded in their faces. Let's address the elephant, or should we say, the rookie in the room. Liam Lawson was Red Bull's chosen one for 2025. Promoted from the junior team to replace the wildly inconsistent Sergio Perez, Lawson was hyped as the next loyal soldier to Verstappen's empire. The result? 2 races, 0 points. And then he was quietly booted and replaced by Yuki Tsunoda. The RB21 car wasn't a beast to drive, sure, but Lawson's performances didn't inspire confidence either. Still, what does it say about a team's structure when you throw your new recruit under the bus before the season even starts rolling? This wasn't just a bad debut. It was an organizational panic attack. Red Bull went from long-term planning to short-term survival in 2 races. Tsunoda, while more experienced, isn't exactly a world champion in the making. The swap was damage control, not a strategy. And once again, Red Bull found themselves leaning harder on Verstappen because they have no real plan B. History repeats, the curse of the second seat. Red Bull's second seat isn't just unlucky. It's become a career killer. Nearly every driver placed next to Max Verstappen ends up chewed up and spit out. This isn't some random trend, it's a pattern. And if you look closely, it's a deeply flawed system designed for one man and one man only. Start with Pierre Gasly in 2019. Demoted after just 12 races, he couldn't match Max and never recovered until he left. Then came Alex Albon, same story. Promising start, then out-qualified, outpaced, and eventually out of the sport. Sergio Perez, solid at first, but by 2024, he was trailing Verstappen by nearly 300 points. That's not a gap, it's a canyon. Now in 2025, it's Liam Lawson's turn. He lasted 2 races. 2. The RB21 car is so finely tuned to Verstappen's aggressive driving style that unless you're Max, it feels undrivable. Lawson struggled, didn't score, and Red Bull swapped him with Yuki Tsunoda, a move that screamed desperation, not strategy. But the real issue isn't the drivers, it's the car. Red Bull consistently builds machines to suit Verstappen's unique style. A sharp front end, loose rear, and lightning reflexes required. It works for Max. It doesn't work for anyone else. That kind of setup makes every other driver look incompetent. The cost. Constructors' titles. In 2024, Red Bull lost to Ferrari and McLaren not because Max underperformed, but because the second car was invisible. While Max hauled in wins, Perez was often fighting in the midfield, and no team wins championships like that. This isn't just about poor results, it's about philosophy. Red Bull treats the second seat like a rotating test. No long-term vision, no patience, just constant pressure. It's a setup that protects Verstappen, but sabotages team balance and long-term competitiveness. Until Red Bull learns to build a car that more than one driver can actually race, or stops expecting everyone to drive like Max, they'll keep repeating this cycle. One hero, one ghost car, and a lot of lost championships. Max's throne is getting shaky. Let's be honest, Red Bull without Verstappen would already be midfield. In 2024, Verstappen scored nearly 3 times more points than his teammate. In 2025, he's already masking deeper car issues, massive front-end instability, brutal tire wear, and unpredictable grip windows. Even he isn't smiling anymore. For the first time in years, Verstappen looked vulnerable in China, pushed down to 4th, struggling with tire deg, getting outpaced by McLarens. You could see it in the body language, the frustration, the isolation, the meetings with engineers behind closed doors. And this is the man who usually shrugs off problems like he shrugs off rivals. If Verstappen starts losing faith, and let's not forget, rumours of tension between him and Christian Horner have already surfaced, then Red Bull loses more than speed. They lose identity. The entire operation revolves around Max, and if Max is shaking, the entire machine trembles. The Newey void in the Civil War nobody talks about. Red Bull without Adrian Newey. That's like Ferrari without Enzo. The genius behind the aerodynamics, the master sculptor of speed, gone. And he didn't leave quietly. Internal drama, politics, and whispered fallouts with senior leadership created the perfect storm. Jos Verstappen fuming at Horner, factions forming inside the camp, and Newey choosing peace over paddock warfare. You won't hear this in team statements, but behind the scenes, it's chaos. Milton Keynes, once the fortress of unity and innovation, now feels like a company in damage control. The culture that built 4 straight championships is fraying. And once a team begins to cannibalize itself from the inside, performance always follows. Is this really the beginning of the end? It's too early to say Red Bull is finished, but they're definitely no longer untouchable. Ferrari is resurgent, McLaren is hungry, Mercedes is smarter than ever, the gap is closing, and with driver instability, technical losses, and political tension all mounting, Red Bull's dominance is looking more like a memory than a forecast. For a team that prides itself on control, 2025 has been the year of losing it. Control over their second seat. Control over their car's performance. Control over their internal narrative. Max Verstappen may still be one of the fastest drivers alive. But even a god needs a temple. And Red Bull's is starting to crumble. If this is the beginning of the end, it won't come with a bang. It'll be the slow burn of wrong decisions, missed opportunities, and the haunting realization that dynasties don't fall overnight, they fade. Let us know what you think. Is Red Bull done? Can they claw it back? Or are we witnessing the collapse of a super team in real time? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Formula One Dramas for more chaos, controversy, and cold, hard racing reality.